Let's face it, the word debt often sends shivers down our spines. It conjures images of mounting bills, sleepless nights, and financial insecurity. We're conditioned to believe that debt is the enemy. But what if I told you this perception is flawed? The world's wealthiest use debt as a tool to amass fortunes. This video will shatter debt myths and unveil strategies. Learn the secrets of leverage and rethink your relationship with debt. The world's most successful investors and entrepreneurs don't shy away from debt, they embrace it. They understand that leveraging other people's money, or OPM, allows them to amplify returns and control assets far beyond their immediate cash reserves. From real estate moguls to tech titans, billionaires have mastered the art of using debt to acquire income-generating assets, expand their businesses, and multiply their wealth exponentially. We'll delve into the specific tactics employed by these financial titans, breaking down complex concepts like compound interest, financial leverage, and credit utilization into easily digestible insights. You'll discover how real estate becomes a wealth-building machine through strategic mortgages, how business loans fuel expansion and innovation, and how even stock market investments can be amplified through the power of leverage. Don't worry, this isn't just a theoretical exploration of billionaire strategies. We'll bridge the gap between their world and yours, providing practical, actionable steps that you can implement to start building wealth using the power of good debt. It all begins with understanding your credit score and its impact on your borrowing power. We'll then explore safe and effective ways to leverage debt for investments like real estate and businesses, always emphasizing responsible borrowing and risk management. By the end of this video, you'll have a newfound understanding of debt, the secrets billionaires use to make it work for them, and the tools to start building your own path to financial freedom. Why do most people view debt with such trepidation, while billionaires seem to embrace it as a financial stepping stone? The answer lies in a fundamental difference in mindset and strategy. The average person associates debt with financial burden. Credit card bills, student loans, car payments, obligations that drain their income and limit their financial freedom. This fear of debt is deeply ingrained, often passed down through generations and reinforced by societal norms. On the other hand, billionaires view debt as a strategic tool, a catalyst for wealth creation. They recognize that by leveraging debt responsibly, they can acquire assets, invest in opportunities, and expand their financial empires at a much faster rate than relying solely on their own capital. This difference in perspective is the first crucial step in understanding how billionaires use debt to their advantage. The middle-class debt trap, living paycheck to paycheck. The middle class often falls into the trap of using debt for consumption rather than investment. They take on debt to purchase depreciating assets like cars, gadgets, and vacations, items that lose value over time and provide fleeting satisfaction. This cycle of spending beyond their means keeps them trapped in a paycheck-to-paycheck lifestyle, with a significant portion of their income going towards servicing debt rather than building wealth. This is not to say that all debt is bad. Responsible use of credit cards, for example, can help build a good credit score, which is essential for securing favorable loan terms in the future. However, the key is to differentiate between debt that adds value to your financial portfolio and debt that diminishes it. The billionaire debt advantage: owning the future. Billionaires, in contrast, strategically use debt to acquire assets that generate income and appreciate in value over time. They invest in real estate, businesses, and stocks, assets that have the potential to produce cash flow, grow their net worth, and secure their financial future. This approach to debt allows them to build wealth exponentially, as the income generated from these assets often surpasses the cost of borrowing. This fundamental difference in how debt is perceived and utilized creates a significant wealth divide. While the middle class struggles to break free from the cycle of consumer debt, billionaires leverage debt to their advantage, propelling their wealth to extraordinary heights. The power of OPM: leveraging your way to wealth. One of the key principles behind billionaire debt strategies is the concept of OPM: other people's money. Billionaires understand that using their own capital is not always the most efficient or strategic way to invest. Instead, they leverage bank loans, venture capital, and other forms of financing to acquire assets and fund their ventures. This allows them to control and benefit from a larger pool of capital than they could access on their own. By using OPM, billionaires mitigate their own risk while maximizing potential returns. If an investment proves successful, the profits are amplified by the leverage used. If the investment doesn't pan out as expected, the losses are shared with the lenders, reducing the impact on the billionaire's personal wealth. Elon Musk, the visionary entrepreneur behind Tesla and SpaceX, is a prime example of a billionaire who has mastered the art of leverage. Musk has consistently used debt financing to fund his ambitious ventures, even when faced with skepticism and criticism from traditional investors. For instance, Musk famously used loans against his Tesla stock to fund SpaceX during its early capital-intensive years. This bold use of leverage has undoubtedly contributed to Musk's phenomenal success. By leveraging his assets and future earnings potential, Musk has been able to secure the necessary capital to disrupt industries, push technological boundaries, and amass a fortune that has made him one of the world's richest individuals. Let's shatter the misconception that all debt is inherently bad. In the world of finance, not all debt is created equal. Good debt, in its essence, is debt that works for you, generating income or appreciating in value over time, ultimately building your net worth. It's like having a financial workhorse, easing the burden on your own capital while generating wealth in the process. Imagine taking out a loan to purchase a rental property. While the mortgage payments might seem like a liability at first glance, the rental income generated from the property can cover those payments and potentially even generate a profit. Meanwhile, the property itself is likely appreciating in value, building equity for you over time. This is a prime example of good debt at work, where the asset you acquire with borrowed money is working hard to pay off its own debt and put money in your pocket. In stark contrast to good debt, bad debt is the financial drain that keeps people trapped in a cycle of payments and financial stress. It's the debt that doesn't work for you. Instead, it works against you, siphoning away your income and diminishing your net worth over time. This is the type of debt most people are familiar with and rightfully fear. Think about maxing out a credit card to purchase the latest gadgets or going on a lavish vacation you can't really afford. These purchases provide temporary satisfaction but leave you with a hefty bill and accruing interest. The items purchased depreciate in value almost instantly, leaving you with debt and nothing tangible to show for it. This is bad debt in its most common form, borrowing to fund a lifestyle you can't sustain, ultimately eroding your financial well-being. Spotting the difference: good versus bad debt in action. Let's solidify the distinction between good and bad debt with some relatable examples. Imagine you're a passionate entrepreneur with a brilliant business idea. Taking out a business loan to fund your startup, purchase inventory, or expand your operations could be considered good debt. If your business takes off, the revenue generated can easily cover the loan payments and fuel further growth. On the other hand, imagine using that same business loan to cover personal expenses like buying a luxury car or going on an extravagant vacation. This scenario transforms that potentially good debt into bad debt, as it's not being used to generate income or build assets. The car depreciates in value, the vacation is a fleeting memory, and you're left with a debt burden that's not tied to any income-generating activity. The billionaire debt test: would they take on this debt? When evaluating whether to take on debt, a helpful exercise is to ask yourself, would a billionaire take on this debt? Before scoffing at the idea, hear me out. Billionaires, with their vast financial knowledge and experience, have become masters at discerning between good and bad debt. They understand that every dollar borrowed should be an investment working towards building their wealth, not diminishing it. So the next time you're considering taking on debt, pause and apply the billionaire debt test. Will this debt help you acquire an income-generating asset? Will it fuel a business venture with high growth potential? Will it ultimately increase your net worth over time? If the answer is no, chances are a billionaire wouldn't touch it, and neither should you. Remember, the goal is to make debt work for you, not against you, just like the world's most successful investors and entrepreneurs do. The real estate leverage model: building empires brick by brick. Real estate has long been a cornerstone of wealth creation, and billionaires have mastered the art of leveraging it to their advantage. The strategy is simple yet incredibly powerful. acquire income-generating properties with a relatively small down payment, using borrowed money to finance the majority of the purchase. This allows them to control a valuable asset while minimizing their upfront capital investment. As tenants pay rent, the income generated covers the mortgage payments, essentially making the property pay for itself over time. Meanwhile, the value of the real estate typically appreciates, building equity for the owner. This appreciation, coupled with the steady stream of rental income, creates a powerful wealth-building engine. Billionaires often scale this strategy by acquiring multiple properties, creating a diversified real estate portfolio that generates substantial passive income and appreciates in value over the long term. Billionaires don't limit their leverage strategies to real estate alone. They understand the power of using debt to fuel business growth and capitalize on lucrative investment opportunities in the stock market. Business loans, for instance, can provide the necessary capital for expansion, research and development, or even the acquisition of other companies. By strategically deploying borrowed capital, businesses can scale their operations, increase production, and capture a larger market share, ultimately leading to higher profits. In the world of stock market investing, billionaires often utilize margin loans, borrowing money from brokerage firms to purchase more stock than they could with their own cash. While this strategy amplifies potential gains, it's crucial to remember that it also magnifies potential losses. One of the lesser-known secrets behind billionaire debt strategies lies in their ability to secure loans at incredibly low interest rates. Due to their substantial assets, strong credit histories, and often their influential status, billionaires can negotiate favorable loan terms that are simply unattainable for the average individual. Imagine borrowing millions, even billions of dollars at interest rates as low as 2 to 3%. A stark contrast to the high interest rates charged on credit cards or personal loans. This access to cheap capital is a game changer. Billionaires can then invest these borrowed funds into assets that generate returns exceeding the cost of borrowing, essentially pocketing the difference. This strategy, known as arbitrage, allows them to grow their wealth exponentially simply by leveraging the difference between their borrowing costs and investment returns. While billionaires are not averse to taking on debt, it's crucial to understand that they are not reckless borrowers. Their success hinges on a calculated approach to debt management, carefully balancing risk and reward. They understand that leverage, like any powerful tool, can be destructive if misused. Billionaires are meticulous in assessing their risk tolerance, ensuring they borrow within their means and have contingency plans in place to navigate economic downturns or unforeseen circumstances. They diversify their investments, spreading risk across multiple assets and industries, minimizing the impact of any single investment performing poorly. No discussion about billionaire leverage would be complete without mentioning Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha, who has famously built his investment empire on the strategic use of debt. Buffett, through his conglomerate Berkshire Hathaway, has consistently used borrowed money to acquire businesses, invest in undervalued stocks, and generate substantial returns for his shareholders. One of Buffett's key strategies involves utilizing the float generated by Berkshire's insurance operations, the premiums paid by policyholders that are invested until claims are made. This float, essentially borrowed money at a very low cost, provides Buffett with a massive pool of capital to invest, amplifying his returns and fueling Berkshire Hathaway's growth. We've uncovered the secrets of how billionaires use leverage to build wealth, but how can the average person apply these principles safely and effectively? It all starts with understanding the importance of a good credit score. Think of your credit score as your financial GPA. It's a numerical representation of your credit worthiness, a report card for lenders to assess your financial responsibility. The higher your credit score, the more favorable loan terms you'll qualify for, including lower interest rates. A few percentage points might seem insignificant, but over the life of a loan, it can translate to thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars in savings. Imagine securing a mortgage on your dream home at 4% interest instead of 6%. That's a significant amount of money that stays in your pocket, building your wealth instead of lining the lender's pockets. Start small, scale smart. Baby steps to big leverage. It's easy to get caught up in the allure of billionaire wealth and dream of making splashy investments with borrowed millions. However, the key to safe and effective leverage is to start small and gradually scale your investments as your income and risk tolerance increase. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither are financial empires. Begin by exploring investment opportunities that align with your financial goals and risk appetite. Perhaps it's investing in a rental property with a manageable mortgage, or maybe it's securing a small business loan to launch a side hustle with high growth potential. The key is to start with an amount of debt that you're comfortable managing, ensuring that your income can comfortably cover the loan payments, even in the event of unforeseen circumstances. Borrow against assets, not dreams. The Billionaire's Collateral Strategy. One of the fundamental principles behind billionaire borrowing habits is their strategic use of collateral. They understand that lenders are more willing to offer favorable loan terms when the loan is backed by a tangible asset, such as real estate, stocks, or even a business. This collateral acts as a safety net for the lender, reducing their risk and in turn lowering the interest rate for the borrower. When you borrow against an asset, you're essentially leveraging the value of that asset to secure financing. This is a far cry from relying on credit cards or personal loans, which are typically unsecured and carry much higher interest rates. Remember, billionaires play the leverage game strategically, minimizing their risk and maximizing their returns, and so should you. The power of debt. Your financial destiny awaits. We've journeyed through the often misunderstood world of debt, debunking myths and revealing the secrets billionaires have used to amass fortunes. We've explored the stark contrast between good debt, the wealth-building engine, and bad debt, the silent wealth killer. We've delved into the strategies of leverage, uncovering how billionaires use borrowed money to acquire income-generating assets, fuel business growth, and amplify their returns in the stock market. Most importantly, we've bridged the gap between the world of billionaires and the everyday individual, providing practical steps you can take to harness the power of debt for your own financial well-being. It all begins with understanding your credit score, treating it like your financial passport to a world of lower interest rates and favorable loan terms. From there, we explored the importance of starting small, scaling your leverage strategically as your income and risk tolerance allow. Unlock your financial potential. Take action today. Debt can be a powerful tool for building wealth when used responsibly and strategically. Shift your perspective on debt. View it as a catalyst for financial freedom. Evaluate your financial situation and leverage good debt for income-generating assets. Don't let fear hold you back. Educate yourself and seek expert guidance. The world of financial freedom awaits. Take action and make informed decisions. Remember, the choice is yours. Will debt trap you, or will you harness its power to build wealth? The journey starts today. If you found this video insightful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share. Until next time, keep learning and striving for financial success.